Hi everybody, once again, here is GM Andrea from Chess Strategies 1, and once again I would like to remind you to like, share and subscribe this wonderful YouTube channel, Chess Strategies 1, and let's go and see another interesting opening trick in the Queen's Indian defense. You can use this trick with white, and hopefully you'll manage to win some games, as I did, because thanks to this trick I won three classical tournament games, and with players, with opponents, even against a FIDE master, also against 2,100 players and against a 2,000 players. So uh, mm, they were not beginners; they were players playing for many years. And I also won a bigger amount of games with this trick in many rapid and blitz tournaments, as well as in online games. So let's see it, and let's hope you'll be able to use it in your games. So d4, knight f6, c4, e6. Now if we go knight c3 with a low black to play the into Indian, which is one of the best defenses against d4. So here we go knight f3. After knight f3, black plays b6, the Queen's Indian, with the idea to fianchetto the light square bishop. Here, in order to neutralize this bishop, the main line is to play the fianchetto as well with white. Now the black continues with bishop b7. Well, despite other variations exist, like bishop a6, for example, which is another main line. After bishop b7, white goes bishop g2, bishop e7, castle, castle. Now, now the main move for white is knight c3. Knight c3 with the idea to continue with, if we are reload, white's idea would be to continue with queen c2 and e4, expanding in the center. Here, black's main is knight e4 with the idea to trade some pieces. By trading some pieces, white's space advantage will become less relevant, and black's defensive task will be easier. Here, white can try to exploit the X-ray attack against the bishop on b7, because yes, there is an opposition between these bishops. White might try to play queen c2, which is one of the main lines. Well, despite bishop d2 might be the best move according to the theory nowadays. But okay, after queen c2, the knight takes on c3, and here white should play queen takes c3, of course. Queen takes c3 is one of the main variations, and it is considered more or less equal. Black's main moves are f5 with the bishop f6, or bishop f6 now also, or c5. But yes, it is a normal game. But after knight takes c3, white might try knight g5. Knight g5 is an interesting move, because white is a piece down, but white ignores the threat. White ignores the knight on c3. White doesn't want to recapture the knight immediately, and is threatening mate on h7. White is also threatening to take the bishop on b7. And now, if black takes the bishop on g2, then white would win on the spot with the queen takes h7 checkmate. After bishop takes g5, white would win with bishop takes b7. And now the rook has no mobility, the rook cannot escape, the knight on c3 cannot escape as well, and white will be winning in this position. Because despite being some material down, now white will take both the exchange and the knight. So why is knight e4 playable if queen c2 is so strong? Because in case of knight takes c3, knight g5 is a mistake. It is a very important mistake because there is a very important counter trick. Here, knight takes e2 exists. Knight takes e2 check with the idea to deflect the white queen or the king. Now, if white plays king h1, then black would take with check on g2. White cannot give checkmate because his king is under attack, and after white takes back, then black can take on g5 and white cannot win these pieces because the bishop on g2 already disappeared with tempo. If white takes the knight on e2, then white is not threatening checkmate anymore. This gives black time to take on g2 with a much better, or let's say with a winning position. Now, if we take on g2 as well as if we threaten mate, but okay, if we take on g2, black takes on g5 with a winning position. Black has extra material with no compensation. So this double deflection of the queen or of the king is very strong. But there is a very interesting variation here. So variation is rook e1. In some variation, white will play knight c3 and e4. Now knight e4 wouldn't be so strong because of knight e2, and the knight is pinned because there is the bishop, and after rook e1, black has some interesting moves such as d5, c5, or other moves. But in many cases, black plays d6 with the idea to wait for knight c3 in order to play knight e4 next. But what happens after knight c3, knight e4, then queen c2, and now knight takes c3 is met not with queen takes c3 but with knight g5 exclamation mark, and adding the moves d6 and rook e1. As a result, the pawn on e2 is protected by the rook and white has a winning position. Black is defenseless against these double threats, so the white diagonals give white the victory. Now, what to do with black? It's so difficult because okay, let's say black put the knight on e4, then we take. Now we have this threat. If bishop takes g5, still we win. If bishop takes e4, we have queen takes e4 with another double attack, and we will win the exchange at least. The decisive advantage for white. In case of d5, which was played in a game of mine, in a game I played against 2,100 player in Pavia's tournament in 2012. Here I played bishop takes d5, and black resigned because the double threat remains. And if bishop takes, I take the bishop. If bishop takes d5 or pawn takes d5, this move wins. In another game, I played against another player with more or less the 2000 rating points. They sack the knight, rook takes c2, and after bishop takes g5, bishop takes b7, bishop takes c1, bishop takes a8. Now black black actually could not save the exchange. Another good move was rook takes c1 and then take the exchange. But okay, I started with this move. After bishop g5 I came back, and with an extra exchange I slowly won. Then I can try to open some files on the queen side, and slowly with slow maneuvering, now black has no space, then I expanded, and I will show this game quite quickly. Now I'm threatening to trap the queen. After e5 I took. Now black is trying to activate his pieces, but white is better. D takes is not possible because of rook takes, winning material. After pawn g3 I took. Now I played rook d4. After queen e2 I played queen e4. I want to trade queens, of course. Now I took. Now there are no threats because the queen is controlling h1. After cd, actually I'm winning. Now bishop e7 is a trick I cannot take because of the mate, because the queen no longer controls h1, but of course I'm not going to receive mate. After queen h2 and queen h3, then the king escapes towards the center, and black doesn't have enough initiative simply, and I went on winning. Bishop f6, rook d7. Now I'm offering the trade of the rooks, and then I came back to g2 with the king, and slowly I won with now I played rook d1 with the dsc6, and black resigned because there are no possibilities to save the end game with his powerful pass pawn on c6. Note that in case of bishop takes e5 I have queen c3 with double attack, and I would have an extra rook, which is more than enough to win the game. In another game I played against a FIDE master in 3 years ago in the international tournament of Sabadell in Spain. Here my opponent, more or less 2,300 rating points, played bishop takes g5. I took on b7, and once again I had an extra exchange. Now I took on c3. Here he tried to trap my bishop, but he simply cannot because I played e5, and I'm giving some squares to my bishop. Then bishop c6, then e3, restricting this bishop. Now e4. Now I took. Now queen c2. Now he played bishop g7. I played rook c1. The idea to invade the c file next. He played h5, queen a4, knight h6, b4. The knight is doomed to passivity. This square is under control. Queen f5. Now I played the endgame, and this position is winning for me. Bishop here, rook c2. If knight c7, bishop d7 with a simultaneous attack. Black played rook f3. I played rook a1. Bishop b5. The knight goes to b8 on this square. Rook c7. This knight is very passive, and black resigned in after very few moves. Here I'm just winning. I play this move. Here black resigned because I don't know, I can play rook e4, rook g4, and white is totally winning. If knight takes, d takes now, and I will queen my pawn quite easily. So with this trick, in one of the main line of the Queen's Indian, starting with rook e1 with a hope that black will play as in the main line, I managed to win 3 games even with against a player of international level. So I will invite you to try this tricky move order to play rook e1 when you play against the Queen's Indian defense, and I hope that you can use this trick to win some games. Thank you very much.